Yo, let me help you guys out. Here's a lesson I learned late in life that I wish I knew earlier in life. And this is for you young guys, or I don't know, man, maybe older guys too. Because I didn't know this until I became a middle-aged guy myself. All right, so check this out. Don't share your stuff. You got a lot going on, stress, whatever it might be. Don't share that with your wife. Don't share that if you guys got girlfriends, whatever. Don't share that with your girlfriend. I don't necessarily believe in you guys having girlfriends. Like, honestly, I think that's something I changed my view on. But don't tell anybody anything. You guys got a lot of stuff going on, especially your wives, guys. Especially your wives. Like stressful work situation, uh, whatever. You're going on like a little personal journey, whatever it is. I don't care what it is, man. Anything that you express to them, they're going to push back and test you on. Okay? So if they know you're super stressed at work, gonna try to mess with you a little bit, right? Like not necessarily out of spitefulness or vengefulness, like not purposely, right? Because that's your wife. Like you don't expect her to be purposely vengeful or, purposely, prodding you, but they do it almost like unintentionally, right? In the back of their brains. They want to see how much can this guy handle, this guy that I'm married to. Can he get through this stressful situation? I know he's stressed right now. Now I'm going to poke him. I'm going to see if I can start an argument with him. I'm going to see if he loses his cool. And literally that's what happens. That's the game of it. And some of you married guys will be like, oh, like, like, well, my wife's my best friend, like all this stuff. Like, all right, whatever, man. Cool, good for you. But most guys, their situations ain't like that at all, right? Their situations are the wife is gonna test them. That's why you don't want to share your feelings like that with your wife. That's what male friendship is for. That's what like going out and doing like man stuff is for. Like I went a rucksack walk the other day with other dudes. That's when dudes talk about dude stuff, and we talk a different language, right? You talk much differently to a group of guys that are men, that are real men. Men just talk differently amongst men. Okay? And then you could share about your tough work or whatever you got going on, man. Tough family life. I don't know what it is. And you'll get a valid response. And some of those valid responses might be to quote unquote man up and, with some colorful language. And that's always funny. That's funny for us guys. We like that stuff. All right. That's, kind of takes the edge off of it. It's a good reminder of like, shut up, man. Just man up. Shut up, man up. So here's what I'm going to suggest to you guys. And I've done this. I've made this mistake a whole bunch of times, and I sometimes still make it. Like, hey, like things are really stressful at work. Like, don't tell your wife, man. She's gonna test you. She wants to see how much you can carry. And that's like just the nature of women, right? That's the nature of how a woman will work. They want to see how much you can carry. What's that load that you can carry on your back? Because they want to add to it. They want to make sure you are who you say you are, and that if things went sideways, you're going to carry everybody out during the most stressful situations imaginable. So, to alleviate this problem, and it should be a problem that doesn't exist in marriages, that's why you have guy friends. That's, everything that you feel, your feelings, you don't need to share with your wife. That's insanity. It's not going to help. Women share with other women like their feelings. Men like share within stories, like to get advices. So guys, if you want to help your marriage go through your trials in life quietly, inside your mind and inside your heart. And that'll keep a lot of things in the family life a little bit stronger because she won't be there testing you to see how much you can carry and how much patience that you have. Okay? And also, in a weird way, wives and women want to be reassured. They want to know that like the guy that they're with can carry a ton of weight. That's why before, stressful situations or during stressful situations, it is often those times that a wife, or if you guys have girlfriends, which I don't necessarily, I've changed my view on, I said that. If you guys have girlfriends, wives, that's why during very stressful times, that's when they'll kind of pick an argument with you or kind of settle on something, or something will come up from the past that doesn't need to, because they want to see how much can this freaking guy hold? Can he keep his cool? Can he get through this? They want to know that you can carry all and every one of the family out. It's like a safety mechanism for women. So to give them that safety mechanism, do that. Just talk to other men that are men. So you guys, to do that, need to cultivate male friendships with real guys, not guys that like you have a conversation with them and then they go back to their wives and they tell their wives everything about the man conversation, like men who are men. Men who that you can talk to, that you trust, that are masculine, that will kind of lock that stuff up in Mordor. You know what I mean? Lord of the Rings style. To not say a word. Like, my wife will sometimes ask me like, hey, what'd you guys talk about at the bonfire? How was the men's thing? Good. That's it. Good. It was good. What'd you guys talk about? Man stuff. What? Tell me. No, it's just man stuff. Same thing, and the women have that space too. And they should have that space. What do the other moms talk about? Woman stuff. Whatever. Who cares? Who cares? You guys understand each other like us men understand each other. We're speaking a different language. Okay? So cultivate male relationships, and cultivate male relationships that you can trust, like guys that are guys that you can do stuff with. Then it doesn't need to be a lot of talking. Just do stuff. Stuff comes up. You talk about it. They kind of keep you in check with, don't be. And that's it. You need to have men that you can trust, and you can test them this way too. You gotta test other guys, see if it gets back to their wives. Because like a guy's guy at a guy's night or a ruck walk or whatever it might be, he's not going back and reporting every single detail back to his wife like a gossiping, schoolgirl. Like that's not happening. You don't do stuff like that. You don't break. There's definitely like in society, there's something that is lost, and that's kind of like a male code and a woman code too. And you don't break that code. Do you understand, guys? So that male code, like if you have other guys that you're questioning, if they're gonna like spill the beans on the stuff you guys were talking about, can't hang out with those guys. I'm telling you, don't do it. You need guys that you'll have a conversation with, and it's just like, whatever, man. Couple whiskeys and cigars around a campfire, and that's it. Nothing else was said. And ruck walk, hike with a bunch of dudes. What'd you guys talk about? Man stuff. Kids, family, marriage. That's it. That's all you say. That's it. Man stuff. So, yeah, that's that. So, back to the original thing. Don't get too sherry with your troubles to your wife. Bear your troubles. Bear them. That's why you have guy friends. And if you don't have guy friends, find guy friends to talk about guy stuff with while you're doing something. While you're like shooting, hunting, hiking, making a bonfire, whatever, man. I don't know. Repairing a lawnmower, like putting brakes on a car. I don't know what you guys do. But it's a sacred space. We need to bring back those spaces. And it helps make the sacred space of a marriage between a husband and wife sacred again, because that's sacred. That's just the husband and wife stuff. And there's things you don't share about your marriage to your guy friends, and the stuff that she doesn't share about your marriage to her, the mom friends. And there's sacred spaces for guys that are men that don't share what those conversations are. That's a sacred space that stays outside of the marriage sacred space. And then the female sacred space stays where it stays. And that's what it's supposed to be. That's the way we're made. We need to bring back the sacredness, because not only does it make the sacredness of the men's conversation, like we don't talk about, it's like Fight Club, right? You don't talk about Fight Club. What's the first rule of like men's, whatever you're doing, men's group, men's night, men's hike, men's hunt? You don't talk about men's hunt. You don't talk about it. Like whatever happened there, and then that's that. That's it. And same thing about marriage. Like it's a sacred space. Bring back the sacredness of these spaces. Okay? Men and women do not communicate the same way. We don't talk the same way. We don't communicate the same way. And guys that communicate with women the same way that women like to be communicated with, think about what that is, guys. Think about that. Is it the woman acting like a man, or is it the man acting like a woman? Something to think about. So anyway, guys, that's the whole story. Don't share with your wife. Guys have guy friends for a reason. Start cultivating. You can find those dudes at church. You can find real dudes. Real guys have families. They get jobs. They take care of their families. They would die for their families. They carry their crosses quietly. They're guys who are guys. They're guys that do stuff, that rock, that work out. I mean, these are your typical guys that are hardworking. Cultivate relationships with those guys. Typically, those guys will have pretty great wives. So, if you're, bring those families together. Keep your spaces sacred. Your marriage stays sacred in its own sacredness. So don't bring your marriage nonsense and your marriage gossip. Don't gossip about your marriage at the men's group, because we're all just going to laugh at you and we're going to think you're weak, just so you know. The real men's group will do that. Real bunch of men hanging out, they will all just think there's something up with that guy. Why he's complaining about his wife. What a moron. You picked her, you moron. So, no kidding. Everybody picked a winner, and that's true. But guess what? Those wives picked a winner too in you, because you ain't so perfect either. But that's the truth of it. We're kind of on this road to perfection. Keep the sacrednesses. Don't share trials, because you're going to get tested by your wife, and she should test you. She should know they should carry all the stuff. So keep that stuff kind of sacred in its own sacred spot. And men are meant mostly to be alone, right? That's why we get together with men once in a while. Like, men don't need that constant relationship to other dudes all the time. Like, women are busy, like, constantly talking and messaging back and forth and blah, blah, blah. They're busy doing that. They need that. It's good for them. You don't need that with your wife. You don't need that with other dudes. Like, that's not how men communicate. We don't communicate by going back and forth about stuff. It's odd. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you guys. I'll put out another one on why I think marriage is good, and why I think these guys with quote-unquote girlfriends and, oh, this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend, why I think that's funk. It ain't good. That's it. Subscribe, share, like, whatever. Out.